If you've subscribed to this channel over the last couple of weeks, you might be a little bit confused about the content of this video. As you can see, there is a Lego city behind me. But today, rather than messing around with wood and saws and drills and raised platforms, we're actually going to be playing with some Lego. I want to get this back looking like a Lego city layout again, at least the downtown area of it. The back half of the city. I want to get the roads back in. I want to get the trains back in. I want to get the vehicles back in. I want to get the minifigs back in. I want to get the modulars in some kind of arrangement that we can maybe work with for a little while and get an idea of how much space we're then going to have available for the other stuff. The town square, Castle Hill, the theme park, the beach, the winter village, the Halloween area, all the stuff that is going to be going in, not necessarily all at the same time, maybe on a little bit of rotation. And yeah, I want it to look like a Lego city again. That's the plan for today. I also have a second plan. That second plan involves these slightly different than usual spectacles that I'm wearing, because these are my new Meta Ray-Ban glasses, which I've purchased with a view to doing some content with them. I don't know what kind of content we're going to do with them, but I'm going to be trying them out over the course of this video as well. It's not a sponsorship. I have paid for them myself. And yeah, I'll try not to be too annoying with them and make the video about them, but there might be the odd shot like this one that you see throughout the video as I'm just playing around with them and trying a few things out. But let's crack on and get this Lego city layout sorted. I think job one is find where I've put my train track and get the train loop back in, because everything else is going to be within that train loop. Step one of which is rummaging around under the city, trying to find where I've put all the train track and all of the road stuff that we had before we rearranged everything. As you can see, I've found it. And job one is getting the road back in on the raised platform, and then we get started with train track. Right, I don't know what stupid thing I'm doing wrong, but I cannot get double train tracks to connect together. It took me a good 2 or 3 minutes to do that one, and now trying to do the next one, I just can't get them to line up. I've never done double track before, and I've never had a problem lining up single track. There's obviously a knack to this. And it's a knack that I just don't have. It's like you get one in and the other pops out. They're both lined up exactly right on the base plate. There we go, we've got that one in. It should not be that complicated and it should not take that long. This entire video might be me messing around with train track at this point. Actually, it probably is worth noting. In fact, two things. One, we've got the extra corner lamps in. So we've now got a lamp in every corner, so we are much better lit in here than we were before. Someone suggested in the last video, why don't we mount the lights to the ceiling? Matt is now working on a design. Grown-up Matt is coming up with a plan and reckons it is doable. So fingers crossed in the next few weeks. We're traveling a little bit over the next few weeks. We're off to Disneyland, and then we're back for like 2 weeks, and then we're off on our first holiday in about 2 years. So yeah, we're not going to be around a huge amount in September, but I think once we get the other side of that, that is the plan, get it lit from above. We're going to get the city set up again and then mess around with the ceiling. That can't go wrong. But in addition to getting the corners in, we've also got some road with embedded tram in as well. Obviously, we've not done any of the detailing or anything on it yet. We're really just getting stuff in as placeholders, and then we'll work around and detail everything when it's done. I'll probably go slightly shorter on this as well, because I am thinking we're going to take a raised train loop that'll pretty much go over the top of the inner lower loop, and we'll have a track on top of another track, double-decker track, running along the sides here, because I just think it will look cool. Or we might take the upper one on a different route. We could we'll come up with a plan. Thinking about it, if we are going to be bringing track off like this, we probably want to have the track the other side as well, the other side of the road. So we might switch that around. Like I say, nothing is permanent at the moment, but I'm stalling. I need to get back to connecting double track together. 100% should not be as difficult as I'm making it look, but I eventually did sort of get a little bit of a knack for it. You can see we are picking up the pace a little bit more now as I move down the city, and the issue at this point becomes less can I physically connect it all together, and more, am I going to have enough track to actually be able to get the job done? Without wanting to play into the autistic stereotype too much, I think there's definitely an alternate universe where my midlife crisis was trains rather than Lego. And I think I'm going to have to buy more train track. One of the motivations behind the new layout was we would be spending less money on the boring Lego, the retaining walls, grey brick, grey tiles to do pavements and stuff, and more on fun Lego. Luckily, I conclude train track as part of fun Lego. We've used probably half of the track I own, and we're not even all the way down this one side yet, but you've got an idea of what I'm actually looking to do. So from here, this loop will continue all the way around here, all the way up there, and go back underneath and loop round. Where the loop breaks off, that is going to loop either, and a lot of this is going to depend on how much track I've got and how much track I can get. There's a world where it loops off and then goes back up down the middle of the high street and joins back and makes a much smaller loop around half of downtown. In my head, though, it comes all the way along here and loops up there. However, the argument for it maybe cutting off halfway is if we decide to have some raised platform off of, some raised track off of here coming down, because obviously we're already going to have this one track looping back up here. We could potentially have them next to each other, one at ground level, one raised. The raised one loops back round there and then kind of runs above the one that goes down the middle of a high street, and we have two trains there. Then we've also got, because I was given them, they were part of a bundle that I bought. So I guess I wasn't given them. I bought a bundle of trains and tracks and things on eBay and got a few of these switch tracks that I've never really had a purpose for yet. I figure this is a purpose. We can have, this is our little area where we park our trains and yeah, use a switch track. I think we've got another one. I don't know that I need a second one set up anywhere. I am also going to have to, assuming this is going to be a beach area here, which is the plan at the moment, I am going to need to use some more of those razors to make a bridge over the sea. And we're basically going to have the train running over the sea and maybe around the lighthouse, which might be in this corner somewhere. So yeah, that's where we are. I am now going to be rummaging around the entire room looking for any train track, because I know there's more. I just don't know where it is, because nothing is organised at the moment. Right, we've got a bunch more here. I think that's all corner and bendy pieces. But I also know underneath here, there are a couple of boxes of it. There's a box there. In fact, there's some more track on plates. Oh, there's the other switch track. I knew I had another one. Oh, that goes the opposite. Interesting. So that one goes the opposite way, I think. Yeah. So we could. Oh, we could. We could link it back in. I think we're going to link it back in because that's really cool. Bear with me. I have fiddling to do. This wasn't supposed to just be a train video, but I think at this point, we all understand this is just a train video, right? And I'm hoping I'm not going to run out of track, but based on what I've been able to find up until this point, I am running low on it. So you can see I'm having a little rummage around trying to find some more. And then we hit the jackpot because we found a load more of the road plates that have the tracks embedded in them. And I was able to salvage, as you can see, a massive pile of straight track, which does give us just enough track, I think, to complete both loops, which is pretty cool. We just need to crack on and do it. Oh, boys and girls, this is sweaty work, but we are getting somewhere. We've salvaged a load more straight track off of old road plates, and we now have, you might have just seen me crawling around, but we now have this going all the way under there, all the way along. So we've got half the track in, basically. We are going to be cutting off this corner ever so slightly. So I'll have to take that into account with our building placement. We've obviously had to move a few bits out of the way for this. You can see we've got our brick cross station platform actually onto the train track now, which was definitely part of the plan. And I'm already thinking in terms of a bridge so that you can get to the other track from the station as well. Always thinking things that we couldn't do the way things were set up before. Still got plenty of straight track. We've not even opened those 2 boxes yet, so I think we might even get this job done. But now we just need to add the turn on there, bring the double track out, join up that loop, and jobs are good in. Oh, nearly fell out the door. That box on the floor, not very conveniently placed at the moment. I keep looking at my watch. It's nearly lunchtime. I'm starving. I've been in here hours. I don't normally get here this early. Still only 11:45. We're going to get one more length in before I go to Greg's and get myself a sausage roll. You can tell that I am running dangerously low on sausage roll levels because most of this time lapse is me just fiddling around in this corner and not really getting anywhere. And I think I needed to get my blood sugar back up to be able to get my brain thinking correctly. This whole section, I mean, we look like we're getting somewhere, but then I'll show you it in a second and you'll realise there is a fundamental mistake that has been made. Well, we are almost there, but we've got a little bit of a pickle. It's a small pickle. It's a solvable pickle. It's a pickle I am going to ask you for your help with as ever. And it's a pickle that I think is a combination of 2 things. Thing number 1, the wood not being exactly the correct amount of base plates and me pushing the base plates right up to the edge all the way around, which is resolvable by me filling in the middle and then adjusting, which I can't do today, but is something I can do in the future. We might find that these just move in ever so slightly. I also think the double track we've got running under the top here is running at a slight diagonal to get around the legs. And basically what the pickle has meant is we can't quite connect up the track in a perfect loop. We've had to use a couple of wiggly bits there. Because, and as you can see, even then it's like at maximum tension on those. We've had to wiggly bit a little bit there to extend ever so slightly. And I'm not entirely sure that's running completely straight. We'll know when we start getting other stuff in. But then down here, for me to keep this dead to the side and this dead to the side, somehow, and I can't even work out how on this, we don't line up. I mean, I guess if we had a slight overhang, we would. So actually, I can work it out. It's to do with the length. And it actually specifically comes from that diagonal we've got at the top. Because if we come at the top here, on this side, the edge of that base plate slightly goes under the raised platform. And if we come, see, we're overhanging there as well. But if we come all the way around here, you can see the edge is miles away from it. I mean, we must be at a major diagonal in there. And I can't see without lifting everything off. And the solution probably, I know what you're going to tell me, the solution to get it right is to lift everything off and get that bit straight. And once that bit's straight, I guess that solves the problem. Either way, I think this is a good time for me to stop and have some lunch. And then after my lunch, work out if I'm going to solve the problem today or leave it with you to solve for me in the comments. So yeah, I'll disappear. I'll be back in a minute and then I'll have had a ponder and decided whether I can fix this on my own or if I'm better off asking for help from you lot. We shall see. Can you believe 2025 Greg's was cash only, so I had to just have a petrol station pasty. But what I have done is got some pasty related clarity and realised that there is no real reason why I need to try and force the base plates to the edge all the way around, because all that's going to do is throw everything off everywhere else. So I've come back, spent 2 minutes and fixed it. I've removed all of the little wiggly bits, so we now just connect together nicely here. We connect together nicely here. Everything is straight. This side, our main viewing side, is all completely straight and against the edge. And then we get around here and we have a little bit of a gap. I mean, that's how That's how wide we are, how much wider than the base plate width we are, but it's a consistent gap all the way along, and then it all connects together nicely. Under there as well, we still have our little switch track doodad, and I actually think this is probably not the worst thing in the world, because I'm thinking Castle Hill is going to be here, and we're going to have a tunnel through it. So actually having a little bit of, rather than just 4 studs to balance a mound on, having a little bit of extra clearance there is actually probably for the best. And obviously long term we can just put some trees or something so that we don't have the exposed wood. It's effectively 4 studs, 4 or 5 studs of addition, maybe 5 studs. So yeah, we'll just put something there and it will be fine. But for now it's fine like this too, and it all fits. And I guess the only thing left to do, okay, there's a couple of things left to do. We need to tidy up so that I can take a thumbnail shot. I'm not going to mess around with the buildings today, but what I would like to do, and this is a big if, but if I can find a train, I would like to run a train and test our 2 loops. And I'm thinking, I was having a little look online. There used to be a double switch track, which doesn't seem to exist anymore. It's in a retired Lego City train set. But I think I might try and get that piece on Bricklink, or maybe even 2 of them, so that we can have a way to switch between the 2 loops without having to physically pick the train up and move it. Because then we could probably have 3 or 4 trains just on this track that we've got laid down, because we could have a bit of parking here. We could set up another little parking lay-by thing underneath the raised platform as well. I don't know if we have room for that. Probably not. Although we could potentially under there just run a single loop. There's lots of stuff we can do if I can figure out how to do switches. But for now, I'm going to try and have a little bit of a tidy up. We've still got loads of bendy track. Loads. I mean, if I ever need to do a big circle of train track, I should probably sell some of this on Bricklink, because realistically, I mean, who's going to buy it? Everyone wants straight, surely. But realistically, at this point, how much of this am I ever going to use? And I've got so much of it. But then there is still more stuff I want to do yet. I still want to have the raised train as well. A bit of a monorail situation, so I'm not going to do anything drastic just yet. But yeah, the goal is this area within the inner loop is where the majority of the modulars in the downtown area will be. And then the area, the other side of that, we'll probably have a row of modulars backing onto it, because I don't think everything's going to fit in there, certainly once we've got the missing 4, an Arkham Asylum and a few more Ninjago bits and stuff like that. But then we'll have the town square sort of here, which will have the rotating area on. We'll probably start with Halloween, then move into a winter village, and we'll have a travelling fun fair that comes in there from time to time. And then in front of that, we'll have, like I say, Castle Hill here. And then this area here will be beach. So we'll need a bridge over the sea, beach, sea, little camping area. I have no idea where I'm going to put Ninjago. I'm actually thinking that might be the permanent spot for it, just kind of hanging around on the end there. And then we could stick markets when we get that on the other end, and hope that by the time we get a 3rd Ninjago modular, we've got 100,000 subscribers and we're getting 2 million views a month, and we can afford a bigger unit. Because, as I keep saying, this one next door is currently empty. I don't know if I get it, if I'm allowed to take the wall down, but I think we do need to fund that one ourselves rather than through Patreon. So before we can do anything like that, we do need to at least double the views we get on the channel. So that can be a long-term thing. But yeah, I am really happy with this train layout. So let's do a little bit of a tidy up. I haven't even shown you that I've brought Detective's office in. If you want to see me building that, I did a video on that the other day. Detective's office is here. But I'm gonna have a little bit of a tidy up, and hopefully as part of the tidy up, find a train, and then we can try and run a train, and then call it a day for today. And then the next video will be arranging the modulars and getting the roads back in. and then we will have something that looks like a Lego city again. It is getting there. It can't be a good old tidying up time lapse. And as you can see, we're just dumping all of that stuff back into those 2 boxes, putting them back underneath the city where we found them at the start of the day. And while I was under there, I found a train. It's train testing time, and I confess I already had a pre-test and it did go a little bit wrong. I was filming on the old spectacles. So here's a spectacle shot of what went wrong. We almost had a disaster because I got too carried away. So we're going to do this a little calmer this time. I don't know how to change the switch so that it doesn't... How do I make it so it goes in a straight line rather than looping off? I need to learn how to use this. At the moment, I don't know how. So this piece of track is being completely ignored the whole time, which isn't the end of the world. But as you can see, it runs nicely on the outer loop. I guess we also need to try it on the inner loop, which it's a little bit of a shame. We don't have any way to switch it over there without picking it up and moving it, but picking it up and moving it is still an option. So we've got one loop that works. I broke the tram as part of the reorganisation of the room. The tram fell off and smashed into a million pieces, the red tram that runs along the high street at the top there, so we won't be using that today. I realise I could run this train up there. I'm not going to, because there's always the chance it will fly off and smash, which we'd like to avoid. We'll just run this in loops, because it's my only functioning train currently. Right, let's test the smaller loop. Make sure it gets through that without any problems, and I haven't tested this one secretly. This is our first run on this smaller loop. So this is our little downtown loop, which seems to run absolutely fine. So I guess the only other thing we've got to do is strap the GoPro to it and do some POV, which I wasn't expecting to do today, but how could I not? There is a very simple answer, and that is it's not charged, but is it charged? It's not even a GoPro, it's an Insta something. It says it's got 43% battery, but it also doesn't seem to be able to connect. Oh, no. I thought it was doing, it's still trying to connect. We might not be doing POV today. I think I need to go 3S not connected. Yeah, connect it. It's plugged in. It's there. Ah, there we go. We've got a little flip screen on this. This is quite a nifty little camera. This is turning into a tech review channel. We're done with the DIY phase of this channel. We're now doing tech review. Right, we don't want 1080p. What do you think this is? This isn't CBBC. Get me 4K footage, or get me nothing at all. I don't know how to use this. Ah! Trapped my finger in the flip screen. I hate the flip screen. Oh, here we go. 4K. Oh, I think the little camera on the front's not charged separately. I think that's the problem. We might not be using this today because it looks like it is charging the little bit. We'll give it 5 minutes, basically charging from itself. Do I have a battery pack with me? I might have a battery pack in my bag. It's got less than 10% battery. Right, let's move fast. Let's move really, really fast. Record, record, record. Drive, drive, drive. There we go. We're now filming from 3 angles. We've got the main camera, we've got the train POV, and of course, spectacle view. How incredibly exciting is this? Oh, I tell you what, the POV looks cool. Obviously the city's not set up yet, but it still does look cool. Let's just stop the train, and because we're down to almost no battery, we're just going to move that one train over. So POV around the wider loop, which is over there. There it goes. Now imagine how cool this is going to look. Camera died. Fine. Fingers crossed it still saves the footage. But how cool is that going to be when the city's all set up? Well, folks, I think we are going to wrap things up there for today. There is your shot of the city as it is currently. Obviously, we haven't made a huge amount of progress vis-a-vis buildings and stuff, but I think getting that double loop in is huge progress. I am definitely going to be looking into getting the double switch track so that we can move between the two loops. I think that would be a really cool thing. And obviously I need to be doing some research about how to actually use switches so that we can, basically I want to be able to set up my little train control booth over here, probably using pie bricks again, we've used that before. But I would like to be able to have the whole thing either automated or controlled centrally from here, so I can have like 3 or 4 trains running and move them in and out of stations, switch them between tracks, all without having to use my meat claws. So if you can direct me towards some good tutorials or books or anything about that, you know what to do, boys and girls. But for now, I think we are going to wrap things up there. If you have enjoyed this video, it wasn't what it intended to be at the start, but I think we've made good progress anyway. So if you have enjoyed Train Time with Kev, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content. Big thank you to all of our lovely Patreons who are scrolling up alongside me now. And of course, Brick Prize Draws for sponsoring the studio as well. And thank you very much for watching.